Hi, folks. Welcome to Crisco's Corner. Unfiltered commentary. And not your truth, the real truth. Please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thank you for your support. Welcome back from Fox News. Now, this is a pretty alarming story. You're going to hear a audio tape from a person that called a congressional member in the United States. It's a woman that's trapped in Afghanistan. And I'll tell you, I just want to start off by asking this question. How in the world could you not have all the Americans that are in Afghanistan have reported and sent their cell phone numbers to the U.S. military? So that a week ago, when they saw things were going bad, they could have notified them all. Come in to the airports immediately. All American citizens and their families, please come to the American airports that are guarded by the U.S. military. Now, I understand you can't keep track of where they all are, but this is the age of technology. How in the F was that not done? A long time ago. Long time ago. And I'll even give Trump a little shot for this. They probably should have done it back then as well. I don't know. Maybe they did in part. I really don't know. I haven't heard anything about it. You know, and they're all lying. When I say all, I mean the Biden administration and the Taliban. And now finally CNN is going after Biden. And it finally dawned on me why. And a couple of people I saw in interviews that are a lot smarter than I am had the same point. And I was thinking it too, and that just confirmed it for me. They have a president now that's pulling out of a war. And CNN, I believe, is hand in glove with the intelligence services of the United States. Without the anonymous tips from intelligence services, the CIA, many other their deep background tipsters, there's nothing to report anymore. And their ratings are in the toilet already. In fact, they probably made a bunch of money off of this, but I don't want to gap too much here. Let's get on with the story. American mom trapped by Taliban describes horrific violence, pleads for Biden to solve evacuation crisis. Don't hold your hand on your ass waiting for the president to do anything. Her brother, a former military translator and contractor, said at least 2 of his colleagues have been killed by Taliban fighters in the last 2 days. First on Fox, an American woman trapped in Taliban-controlled Afghanistan is worried she'll never see her kids again and in hiding with family members and Afghan allies, unable to reach Kabul's U.S.-held airport for a chance at an evacuation. That's the thing. That's the thing. Why do they give up the airports? Why? I mean, you know, we can go on why they left billions in equipment. We can go on about that. But why'd they leave the airports? I'll leave you one airport? Really? Unbelievable. And they have to go through the gauntlet to get there? An American mom trapped in Taliban-controlled Afghanistan is worried she'll never see her kids again and in hiding with family members and Afghan allies, unable to reach Kabul's U.S.-held airport for a chance at evacuation, she said Saturday. I really have given up hope. Given up hope of going to the airport, the woman whose identity is being withheld due to concerns for her safety told Fox News. It's just not possible to make it through all these people. She said there were as many as 20 Taliban checkpoints between her and the airport, and she's one of an uncertain number of American citizens trapped behind enemy lines. She said, every moment a car passes by, I feel like they're going to pull in and execute us. I don't know if we're going to see our children again. Now, it's a little bit longer article. I'm not going to read it all. She was whipped by Taliban fighters in one attempt to get through, she said. Think about that. A man standing near her was shot in the head on another try, leaving his wife and baby in tears. Since then, she's been hiding. Oh, do you think? You're damned if you do and damned if you don't. What are you going to do? We are devastated, she said. We're scared for our lives. Every moment a car passes by, we're feeling they're going to execute us. She said the situation is dire, even hopeless. She would rather commit suicide than allow the Taliban to capture her. Pretty drastic. She said she fears showing a U.S. passport to militants could be members of other terror groups, including ISIS and Al-Qaeda. Now, that's the thing. There's no uniforms. There's no proper ID for a Taliban member that are now the government in Afghanistan. Nothing. None. How do you know? She had a message for the president, speaking through tears. Please, Mr. President, evacuate us. Now, I'm not going to read all of this. You can stop the video and read this. Her brother's a former military translator and contractor who is now in the United Kingdom. They're banging on doors, seeking out people who work for the U.S. They're shooting them. They're killing them. Oh, unbelievable. They're going through a lot of homes, pulling out high-ranked Afghans, law enforcement. And there's a 20-second audio sent to West Virginia Representative Carol Miller's office. She can't be heard struggling to speak. Hour by hour, it's getting more difficult. Let's get to the...
Hour by hour, it's getting more difficult. Even when the cars pass by, I feel like they're gonna stop by the door and they're the Taliban and they're gonna come in and kill us. I'm really scared. Please, please help me whenever it's the soonest. Hour by hour, it's getting...
That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. That was left on Representative Carol Miller's. Obviously, left her office in Washington. And the Congresswoman confirmed her status as an American citizen and helped contact Fox News with her to raise awareness of the severe threat to Americans. Now, the family also said they fear the Taliban would oppose an internet blackout, effectively shutting down all communication apps and hiding extremist activities from the rest of the world. Yeah, at that point, the woman's brother said the Taliban would massacre a lot of people. It's a devastating situation and deadly. Yeah, here we go. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, I don't want to badmouth people. I really don't, especially when they're new. But Blinken, of all people, there's a video going around of former Senator John McCain, now deceased, rest his soul, that was against Blinken being appointed before to something else and called him dangerous. I mean, this is the Neville Chamberlain of modern times. And those of you who look up Neville Chamberlain, what he did to appease Hitler just prior to the outbreak of World War II, will understand. You can't make peace with these monsters. It said that the Pentagon was, quote unquote, exploring options. What options? You don't have any now. You screwed up so badly. You painted yourself into a corner. You've backed yourself into a corner. Military sent 3 helicopters outside the airport perimeter to retrieve 169 American at Rendezvous Point Friday. Oh, 169, and there's thousands. For non-Americans, however, they'll have to figure out how to get to Kabul, Blinken said. Great. So those people whose hearts and minds you changed for the last 20 years are screwed. F them, as Biden said. You'll see in a previous episode that I had, he actually said that about the Afghan people when Americans withdraw. And he mentioned that about Americans leaving Vietnam at the end of the Vietnam conflict. F them. He would vote against the bill for any money that pulled out one South Vietnamese resident. He said that, quote, and if and when they reach Kabul, it's swarming with Taliban fighters dead set at hunting down and killing them. Isn't that great? There were tens of thousands of Afghan allies who worked with the U.S. forces over the last 2 decades. The traffic starts miles away from the airport. The trapped American woman said it's possibly 2-3 miles with thousands of people put together like little matchsticks with no space between them. Yeah, look at the picture there. A picture is worth 1,000 words. Looks like Nazis hanging people. Yep. Garbage in, garbage out. And what do we have from the head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Milley? He goes before a Senate subcommittee, and he's concerned about white rage. You asshole. You know what? I don't want to swear like that. I really don't. How many pallets of cash, because the new Taliban, and basically wiped out the cash in Afghanistan, the former president and all his cronies, took the cash, got in a plane, and got the hell out of Dodge. I think he's in one of the small Arab countries. It's unbelievable. In exile. There'll be pallets of cash sent, just like Obama did, in the middle of the night. Cash. They're not wire transferring anything. They're not sending them, gold bullion. They're just going to print up a whole crap load of American money and just give it to them. American currency is still good, at least for now, around the world. Incredible. Incredible. What a giant F-up this is. I can't even think of a military foreign policy F-up that's been this bad in my lifetime, and I was born in 1956. The only other one that maybe come close is the Bay of Pigs. That's about it. We've had F-ups in the past before, but nowhere near this scale. Nowhere this huge. Nowhere this dangerous to American citizens. And you can hate Donald Trump all you want to, but he asked the question, and it deserves an answer. Who the hell would pull their military out, in this case the U.S., before they pulled out their civilians? Civilians, i.e., American citizens. Why would you pull back your military before you save your own people? It is the job. Anybody, whether the staunchest conservative or the worst whack job progressive, all agree on one thing. The job of the federal government is to protect its citizens, no matter where they are. And they failed miserably. And this is going to drag on for weeks and months. And horror stories are going to leak out. And Biden's going to call press conferences about getting booster shots. You got to be kidding me. Here's something to look forward to when he eventually steps down for health reasons, which he's going to have to soon. Kamala Harris is going to be president of the United States. Jesus. Just gets better and better. I wonder who the hell they're going to pick for the VP under Kamala Harris. Be fun to watch those hearings. So, it's just the beginning, folks. This isn't the end. Don't think for a minute they're not thinking, maybe we can get back into the war. Maybe we can get back in and start bombing some strategic spots. Maybe we can have a war again. Yay! And the uniparty in Washington can all clap and be happy. And CNN will be friends with Biden again because he likes war. And that's the reality of it, I'm afraid. This is going to make those of you that are old enough to remember that Iranian hostage crisis look like a joke. And until next time, folks, goodbye and good luck.